We always have a question here.
Hi.
Hi, Lindita. Alistair from Eurofile. I understand you're originally from Kosovo.
Yes.
Do you get back there much? And what do you miss about Kosovo when you're in the States?
I unfortunately haven't been there since 2013, and I really wanted to go last week, and I couldn't make it. It was a family emergency. But I do miss my family, my wider family, and I also miss the food.
Hi, Artsvik. I have a question about your grandmother. Can you maybe tell us a little how she's inspired you?
Իմ տատիկս ճիշտն ասած ոնց ասեմ ոգեչնչել երևի չէ որովհետև ինքը տանն էր երգում բայց մենք որ միշտ հավաքվում ենք ինքը ամենամեծ սիրով ասում էր իր ամուսինը ասում էր Արծվիկ հիմա կարաս երգես որովհետև դե մեր հայկական տենց բաներով հավանդույթներով այդքան էլ չեն ուզում որ կնիկ տենց երկի բան ունենա մասնագիտություն երաժշտական բայց որ ինքը սկսում էր չէ հենց երգելը մեր բոլոր ընտանիքը սենց լացում էի ես տենց հասկացա որ իմ տատիկս տենց լավ երգչուհի է ես ունեմ իր անունը Արծվիկ եւ ես շատ հպարտ եմ
Well, first of all, actually, I'm named after my grandmother. Her name was Artsvik as well. And it's interesting because she never was a professional singer, but she had a beautiful voice and she used to sing in our house. And it's funny because in my family members didn't really consider singing as a really, serious profession. But as soon as she started singing, everybody was amazed with her voice and her talent. And so she's been a really huge inspiration for me, and I'm very proud that I have her name.
Hi, Isaiah. Alistair from Eurofile. You mentioned Jessica Malboy, and I think you were touring with her recently. What's she like as a person to work with, and did she give you any advice about Eurovision?
So yeah, I did the tour with Jessica Malboy. I was the support act, and I'm sure a lot of my team from Australia can agree that Jess Malboy is one of the most beautiful human beings, and she's so kind. And she's very lovely and so talented, and she did a great job when she was here representing Australia, doing the guest performance. And in regards to advice she gave me for Eurovision, she told me to just stay focused, have a lot of fun. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and yeah, just keep your head in the game and just do your best.
Hi, Nathan. Alistair Birch from Eurofile.
Hi there.
Can you describe the creative process which led to the writing of this song, please?
The writing of the song? Sure. I went to Los Angeles, and I just needed some inspiration. I wanted always to go to America. And I met Bernard Pensias, who's here somewhere. And we had our first writing session. And actually already developed the structure of the song. And I was in a point in my life where I needed something to give me hope, and just to get me back on track and just help me to figure out what I wanted to do. And I had so many people that were supporting me with that. And still I needed something to focus on. And the song really gave me the motivation and the courage to just pursue what I wanted to do. And it brought me until here, and that's amazing. Thank you.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi there.
Another question.
Yeah.
I found a connection you already had to last year's entrant, Zoe. I don't know if you're aware, but I think you both appeared when you were kids on the ORF program, Kiddie Show or Kiddie Contest.
Yes.
What do you remember about that time? I've seen the video, by the way. It's still on YouTube, and it's truly awesome. And what advice would you give to kids who have got the opportunity to get into a TV show at a young age?
Oh, do it. Absolutely do it. If you want to express yourself to the fullest, and this is the way you want it to do, I can recommend it to everyone. It was the best experience for an 11-year-old. I enjoyed every moment, and I remember so much of it. So it was a great time, a great a couple of months, and it just set a goal for new things to come. And I just knew that I wanted to stand on stage one more time, like in future, of course. And I somehow got the possibility. So I just say to all the young people, all the kids, really do it. Never stop trying, and just go for it. And with the hard work and a lot of discipline and really self-belief, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. You really can do whatever you want, and so this is the motto that I'm actually living, and it works pretty fine for me.
Hi, Diana.
Hello.
Alistair Birch from Eurofile. The rehearsal today, you have a very ambitious show. Were you happy about the progress, and what are you going to tune or change as the days go on?
Well, I might say rehearsals are existing for rehearsing. So I might say that today we actually succeeded. We had a couple times of playing it on the stage. Of course, there are some little marks that we're going to change, but not that huge. In general, I'm happy. I'm happy with my team. I'm happy with everything that was going over on the stage. So that's it. I'm quite happy, yeah.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile.
Hi.
My question, by the way, I love Belarus this year, particularly your
thank you.
song's wonderful. But my question is how you guys met, and how did you reconcile your different styles of music?
Oh, it was an accident, yes, about 4 years ago, and we decided,
At the Valentine's Day.
yes,
Oh.
symbol, and we decided to do, yes, 14. Whoa, we've met on the 14th of the February, and
That's why I'm
we
saying.
will
whoa.
show on the number 14.
Too.
Yes?
It's
Do-
only for
do you
us,
understand?
Artyom.
Okay.
No, it's kind of symbolic
Yes.
things. That's important.
Okay, and we decided to record one song. We recorded it. After that, we decided to do a project.
And all the time, we don't think that what style we want to sing in or kind of. So we're in the band. We like to do fun music. We like country. We like folk, rock, pop, and we mix it. And but
last 2 years,
last 2 years, where our music is kind of country and folk together. So that's
we
why.
can show you, yeah?
Yeah.
Like this.
Wow, wow.
Like this one of our song, "Бежит," run. It's like we feel so. Thank you.
It gives us energy, our culture and language. So
Hi, Blanche. Alistair from Eurofile. Can you tell us a little about your brother and how has he inspired you?
My brother is the reason why I sing, because he's a singer too. Yes, the name of my brother is Oliver Lord, it's his artist name. And when I was younger than now, he sang, and so I sang too. And there was he was playing piano, and so I was with him, and so that's the reason why I'm here, maybe.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I understand when you were younger, you worked with Dima Bilan. Can you tell us a little about that, and what is he like as a person?
Okay, that's a nice question because Dmitry is amazing, and I'm pretty sure that all of you know him because he's like one of the best-known Eurovision winners, and it's been such an honor for me to work with him. It was like 3 years ago. I was the finalist of The Voice Kids in Russia, and I was in his team, and he was my coach. So we had a lot of time together, and he teach me a lot of things actually. And the main thing is work with the camera, because it was my first live concert, I'd say, and he was the first person who taught me how to work with the camera so that people will understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it was a great work, and he's one of the most intelligent persons I've ever met. He's like one of the best persons really on earth. So yeah, thank you.
You've been accepted at the Berklee Music School.
Yes.
Tell us about the tests that happened in Munich. What was that like?
It was like, it was pretty fast. So I had like 30 minutes for the whole audition, and it all started with audition, actually. I entered the room, like it was a small room with just a piano there and a mic, and I was like, hey, I was so scared of everybody because it's like one of the biggest days of my life, and I've waited for that for a long time, and they just asked me to sing my 2 songs. Like, you have to sing songs that you wanted to show them, like you want to show them something and you show them it. And then they started improvising. Like, there was a pianist and he started playing, and they were like, write a song. I was like, what? They were like, write a song right now. And because I want to become a songwriter, and I just began singing something and began improvising, and they loved it. They told me that that was good, and then they were testing my hearing. So they like play a note, and I have to say which note is that. So I did that too. Then I had to sing a melody by like the notes, and that's it. Like, it was all pretty fast, and then I had like a psycho test, which was it was even more difficult, I'd say, because I had to speak with a lot of people, and it was kind of scary, but I managed to do that, and now I'm in. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I read the list of languages you've sung songs in. It's lots and lots of languages, but it includes Maori. Is that correct?
This one time I sang, yes.
Well, can you tell us a little about it? How difficult was the language? And do you remember anything?
It was horrifically difficult, yes. Pokare kareana. That's all I can remember right now. It's actually like an anthem of the Maori people. And well, as a singer, you know, I always tend to please the crowd, and someone who hires me, there's often like a chance to do something. Oh, could you do a song in Italian? Yeah, why not? Could you do a song, and do you speak French? No, but I could do a song, that doesn't matter. So it's a hearing thing. I try to do, if I had more time, I would most likely learn those all languages and even more, but you know, who knows? It's a challenge always, but it's a thrill at the same time, because music is music, you know, in whatever language you sing it.
Can you tell us a little about how Victoria Badroff has influenced your musical style?
Oh, that's my lovely vocal teacher, #1. Well, I actually started voice lessons. I started teaching classical voice, classical music, opera. I was supposed to become an opera tenor. And I met my teacher, Victoria Badro, when I was at the age of 16. I worked with her for around five years. And she was very sad when I said, well, I have to do pop because this is what my heart says I'm supposed to do. She always wanted me to be the new Pavarotti, and I'm sorry that I was not able to deliver that, because I love her so much and she helped me so much with my singing. But we, of course, remained friends, great friends, and she's been great support. Even now, just recently, her husband unfortunately died. And she texted me such a lovely, lovely, beautiful message. And I'm sure that she's going to be watching this and remembering, yeah. There's going to be a lot of emotions in her heart, I'm sure. Thanks.
Hi, Hovik. Alistair Birch from
Hi.
Eurofile. I read somewhere you like the book The Art of Body Language. Is that correct?
Yes, I like the body language. I've read that, yeah.
And what's so special about the book, and what does it tell you about the audience watching you today?
That they're really calm and they're actually they're relaxed, and that's very nice. No tension in here. I like that.
Hi, Alistair again. I think I'm correct in saying your nickname on the island is the Music Messenger.
Yeah.
Where does that come from, and do you mind the nickname?
No, I like the nickname, and I am a music messenger. I do try to promote good music, and because I think music can make a lot of difference in the world. That's why I love Eurovision, because it is the biggest music show that all the Europeans can get together and see in one night. So that's something amazing. The nickname actually came on the X Factor auditions. A judge there just said that, because I was wearing a t-shirt. I didn't even know the t-shirt was writing the Music Messenger, but I guess it was the right t-shirt at the right place. So that's where it came from.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Can you tell us a little about your Sinatrology project, and what is your favorite Sinatra number, please?
Okay, actually it's not my own project. I was participating at this project 2 years ago, also last year. Yeah, I love jazz music. I love Frank Sinatra, and one of my most favorite song is I'm a Fool to Want You, because Frank Sinatra wrote the lyrics, and also All the Way. That's the song that I love the most.
Hi, Alistair again. I've got a question about something early in your career. Can you explain your connection to the story of Robin Hood, and what did that experience teach you that helps you now?
7 years ago, I participated at another show in Czech Republic, and then I had the opportunity to play the main female role in the musical Robin Hood. So I played Lady Marian, and it was for me very nice experience, because musical theater, it's something else, and you can learn how to move on stage and play for the audience. And I think I also learned a lot of new things, like talking with the actors. How can you act this emotion? Because I'm only a musician, you know. Every time I studied only music, so it was for me dancing and fighting with the Robin Hood, and all those things were for me very new. And I think it was also for me new experience.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Can you explain to us your connection both to Denmark and Australia?
Yes, I can.
And why is your corner of Australia so suitable for somebody learning to sing?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can definitely do that. My connection to Australia is that I was born there and I was raised in Australia, but both my parents were born in Denmark. So I am a dual citizen of both countries, and I've been raised in a Danish household in Australia. So I've definitely been brought up very much a mix of both countries. And my sister lives in Denmark. My family, most of my family live in Denmark. We have a small family in Australia as well. The reason that growing up where I did is great for a singer is because there's no one around. So I can sing as loud as I want, whenever I want, and I used to go outside and just be in the nature, as well as catching animals and singing on cliffs and climbing trees, and I was just always singing, and I had the freedom to sing as loud as I want.
Hi, Alistair again. I have a question about bushfires. Now, here in Europe, bushes are pretty small and innocuous, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about what bushfires are and how they impacted your family.
Oh gosh, he's coming out with the tough questions. Oh, okay. Well, we have in Australia like quite a lot of bushfires. The long and the short of it is that my grandparents in 2013 lost everything. They lost their house and everything in a huge bushfire that came through the Blue Mountains where I live when I think I was 18, and I was just sitting, I was doing my HSC, which is my high school exams on the day, and my grandparents lost their house and everything burnt down, but I'm just thankful that my grandparents weren't injured or hurt in the accident. There was 400 houses that were lost and damaged in my area. We were all told that we had to evacuate, so it was quite a not so nice time, really, but we're stronger for it, and I still have my grandparents, so I'm really happy.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. First, congratulations. It's been a wonderful Eurovision for us in the press so far. It's been so easy to get our material this year. However, we have to think of the audience at home. The tickets, the announcement of the tickets was very late, and they sold out before most Australians had even heard they were on sale. Then the fan club tickets were cut as well, and now we go into an arena where you're dumping tickets and it's half empty. What went wrong with the ticket sale process?
That was late start in production, and we had 3 waves of tickets. It was a huge demand on the grand final, actually. We made tickets for Ogare fan club, and actually that was enough quote, and some tickets were left in that quote. And this is actually not the biggest venue for the whole period. So for the grand final, it was high demand. Only 9,300 people in the venue could be, including the fan zones. And besides that, we've started ticket sales, in fact, during the planning of the production itself. So it also had that impact, and Ola Melzik could describe more detailed about this as well. But we are happy that a lot of foreigners came, and we are happy to welcome.
Yeah, I mean, in short, what happened was that since we are spending government money, we have to be extremely transparent. So everything needs to go out on procurement on online tender platform. And this takes time, and that procedure took too long time. Well, it had to take the time, but it took time that we didn't have, and at the same time, the host broadcaster was forced to start selling tickets. So it was, as Pablo said, we were going into production while we're still in planning because we got started so late. So. It's unfortunate, but Concert UA is trying to deal with it in the best way. So.
Hi, Alistair from Eurofile again. There were some problems with the audio feed for the Australian commentary during semi-final 1. Can you give us some background about that? Did it affect any other countries, and how will we prevent it happening again?
That's something we're looking into right now. The ISDN connection dropped out for a couple of minutes, I believe. And we are looking into what was the reason for this, because, as you say, it was only Australia. It's not because we hate Australia.
Poland too? Poland too.
Was it Poland too? Okay. There has been some problem. The big problem with ISDN is that it's an outdated technology. And we really need to look into how to do this in the future, because it's getting harder and harder to get it to work. So, but we'll make sure that we fix it and take all precautions we can to have it up and running for tomorrow.
Hi guys, Timur, welcome back to Eurovision. As Green Room host, my question is, how are you inspired by the previous great Green Room hosts, such as Conchita Wurst? And I see you had the beard already. That's a good start.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. That's a good one. I'm not going to help you. I don't want to be a copy of someone, for sure. You know, I'm in Eurovision in Ukraine for 12 years, so I know a lot about these contests, about this year's contestants. So it will be different. definitely, it will be different. And I don't want to ask just about emotions, just about feelings. I will ask something which I found on the internet or in private conversation with all the participants. So it will be interesting, really.
And I would also add, because Timur is a shy person, that he is Eurogenius, as we call him, because he knows everything about Eurovision.
This is
So
the
we'll
only
have quite-
person, yeah, he's the only person on the planet who used to be the host twice, of Junior Eurovision. Now he's the only person in the world who's been hosting the normal Eurovision and then elderly Eurovision, yep, in the future.
Yeah, so basically he's having Eurovision for breakfast.
Hi guys, my question is for Alexander. You created a reality TV show. I hope I translate this correctly. Macho Men Don't Cry. Can you tell us a little about it? And who is the most macho person at this year's contest?
Oh, okay. So that was, I think, 4 years ago or something like that when I worked for a new channel in Ukraine, and it was a reality show. Thank you.
Busy, huh?
We had two guys who were fighting for the date with a star, and they made some surprises. They overcome some of their fees, or something like that. So the main macho of that show, of course, was the producer. As the main macho is the producer.
You know
I'm not
how
talking
Stuart
about
Barlow
me.
called us.
If you're talking about Eurovision,
Social
the main
media
macho
whores.
is Mr. Jon Olas.
Hi, Koit, or should
Hi.
I say Gary? My question is about your very first synthesizer when you were a child. Do you remember how you got the synthesizer? And do you think kids nowadays get given too much stuff?
Yes, of course I remember. I was really young. I had really young parents, and we were quite poor. And I didn't have any synthesizers or anything fancy like that. But I remember from one trip, they brought me a small Yamaha synthesizer, and I was like, I could stay there like 6 hours or something and just play and hear the sounds, different sounds, and it was such a huge inspiration for me. I mean, though I'm singing here also and then back home in Estonia, but my first love is still piano. I've been studying all my life piano, and since I started to play piano since I was 4 or something like that. So. Nowadays, of course, we try. I have also 2 kids. I have 9 years old daughter and then 2 weeks old boy who is also with me here in Ukraine now. And we try to keep also that I've been some places where kids have so many toys that you can even not go into the room. So I think if you have less things, you appreciate it much more. So yeah.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I'm wondering, could you explain for us the American connection of your band's name, please?
Okay, where the name came from. It's we started this band in 2008, and I was kind of fixated on Marilyn Monroe at the time. And so it came from that, and because she maybe had an affair with John F. Kennedy. So, because everyone's always asking that about us, if we're like a couple.
So it was kind of like a teaser to you guys.
It was just an inside joke.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, Alistair again. Perinin, I understand you write a lot of music for others as well as for your own band. So does it make it harder or easier when you're writing a song, knowing that you're going to have to perform it as well?
Well, it feels like this is more personal, of course, and it makes it more important, kind of. But you can also enjoy making music for other people because then you get your kind of child going somewhere and growing on its own. So there are like several different ways to enjoy those products with those songs.
And it's like when we do songs together, sometimes they feel like really it's us, we can't let it go. And sometimes you feel like I love this song, but it doesn't feel like Norma John.
Yeah.
So then we're happy to give it to anyone who wants the song and has a connection to it.
Exactly, and we're so intuitive people that we have to do the song when we start. We don't think that we have to do this style song now, so we just do it and then we see if it's suitable for us or somebody else.
Yeah. Hi, Lena. I read something that in Finnish translated by Google Translate. I didn't really understand it, but it sounded interesting. A series of songs you wrote labeled Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about that?
That is a Norma John song, actually, because when we started, we did this kind of like really
more
bubbly, folk kind of songs. We always have this kind of a dark side to us, so we like the contrast. We like doing songs like Blackbird, but then we like, because we're really humorous people, so we like doing songs more like kevyempi, lighter. So Star Trek, Star Wars, I'm a big fan of both. I've been watching them since I was little, so it's about that.
We had also a song called Robot Friend, and that was also the lighter side, so yeah, that was the time.
Yeah.
More folkish, Norma John.
Hi, Alma. Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I found an old interview with yours. It might even be your first, where you, Vu sur le web, where you said that you wanted to start with small audiences and build up over time. And of course, now you're at the Eurovision with the biggest audience in the world. How does that feel? How did that happen so quickly? And which do you prefer, the small or the large audience?
Thank you for that question. It's true that I've been now, like for the past 3 years, I've been a musician and a singer-songwriter, so I've been experiencing small audiences, and I love it because you can really connect with them. And now, jumping from this to that, it's such a challenge, and I really love challenges. Honestly, that's what keeps me going, and it makes me better every time. So it was very scary for me to, I have to admit, be in front of such a big stage and 200 million people. It's such a big jump, but I'm not really realizing it. I'm just enjoying it because it's so crazy, and it just gives you a lot of strength and motivation to be a better person.
You mentioned you traveled a lot. I think you've lived in the States and in Brazil. How did the very unique sounds of these two countries influence your music today?
Well, all the countries that I visited influenced my music in a way, I think. I'm not able to tell you exactly how because this is not tangible, touchable. But I would say that it's a mix of everything that makes me who I am, first of all, and who defines my music as well. I got the chance, really, this is such a big change to have traveled. Like, I lived in the States, in Brazil, in Italy, in Belgium, and now in France. It's good because you're open-minded and you're really sensitive to what's going on around you because you had to adapt yourself to other countries and cultures. So I hope, and I'm very proud if you can tell that in my music there is a little bit of everything.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I have a question. You performed a year or two back with Calliope for the 20 years of independence.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little about that? The thing with the high heels, and how do you deal with the unexpected on television?
This is a great question. Thank you, and thank you for your research, first and foremost, because not many of your colleagues have brought this up so far. Yes, Calliope was actually the judge in the Macedonian Idol, where my musical career began. And after finishing the show, she invited a couple of the singers, like 4 of us. She invited 4 of us to perform with her at the 20th anniversary of our country's independence. And yes, it was tricky because I was wearing like super high heels on stage and I twisted my ankle. But luckily, one of my colleagues, Dan, his name is Dan, he was super tall and super strong. So he helped me, like I bent on him. He caught me. How I deal, I just go with the flow. The audience mustn't see if anything is going wrong, so you need to put your game face on and focus.
I have a question about when you were younger. Can you tell us about your interest in Harry Potter and what happens when you received the letter? You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, wow! Where do you get all these information, mister? Yes, I still love Harry Potter. I was introduced to Harry Potter with one of my closest friends in primary school. His name was Marco. Hi, Marco. He is somewhere in the world. Last time I checked, he was in Japan, then he went to Spain, then like he's all over the world. He's a very talented artist. So yeah, he introduced me to Harry Potter, and it was the book that taught me how important it is for a person to read in general. I got so addicted, and I even sometimes I find my getaway in the Harry Potter books. I'm really stressed out. I just pick a random like chapter and just read through the pages. I love it. And I got a fake invitation to Hogwarts. You know, it was very exciting until the moment I found out it was fake. It broke my heart. I was really depressed. And of course, I had a huge crush on Daniel Radcliffe, the actor who plays Harry Potter. I think it's a wonderful story. And it is very complicated at the same time, inventing a whole parallel society with like legal system, with the economics, with an educational system. It's very well, like thumbs up, Joe Rowling.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I understand your father was a professional musician. Can you tell us a little about that, and how was it to grow up in a musical household?
Okay, thanks. Well, my father was and is a conductor. He's a composer. He has his own jazz orchestra, big band. He's also a arranger. Well, he's a big musician. I'm a big fan of my father. Well, by the way, he also used to live in Ukraine. He has his own band here, orchestra, and then he moved back to Georgia. So I was raised in a very musical family, and my mother used to sing also.
Hi, Alistair from Eurofile again. I understand you've been touring around Europe promoting your song. Can you give us the impression you have of some of the cities and what happened while you were in Paris?
What happened? Oh, I was robbed in Paris. Okay. The tour was great because I made a lot of people. This was a big experience, and I'm very grateful for that. But in Paris, yeah, that's a sad situation that happened in Printemps. I was in Saint Laurent's store when I was just changing the jacket that I liked and wanted to buy, and after 2 minutes, just I turned around and my wallet was not there. So then I went to the police, and that was a long day and very hard day. But everything's fine. But still, I keep the faith.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I have a question about your EP a couple of years ago, Bedroom Records. How difficult was it to produce that, and how did that compare to your Eurovision, preparing your Eurovision single?
Okay, that's a very nice, interesting question. Yeah, it was obviously a few years ago that I recorded my own EP, and it was quite a difficult process because I had to get all the people together. I was like the driving force and everything. I had to get the funds. I did the design and everything. So it was quite a lot of work, and it was a great experience because doing your own project and your own songs, yeah, is a big heart thing, basically, you know, it's like comes from the heart. So I enjoyed it a lot. But obviously now, and everything I'm doing now is different because I'm surrounded by so many professionals who've done this sort of thing already for a lot of years. So I'm learning a lot, but I can also bring my experience from the past into it. So it's such a great experience, yeah.
Hi, Livina. Another question. I watched the national final very early in the morning in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Did I hear you say it was your first time performing on television? Is that correct?
Yes.
So my follow-up is, now you're at Eurovision, the TV setup is infinitely more complicated. How have you been practicing and training, getting ready for Eurovision between then and now?
You know, I think I actually, during the German pre-selection, I already learned quite a lot, and sort of the practice I did there, I think already helps me now for this stage here. Obviously, everything is much bigger and more, you know, but you have the cameras. I think that's the main difference. Obviously, I have performed on stages before, so that feeling you have on the stage or the interaction with the audience is there. It's similar, but the main difference is, of course, the cameras and how to feel and how to move with the cameras. This we, you know, also in between the pre-selection and now, we had a few camera rehearsals as well. And when we practiced in some conference rooms of hotels, I had the stage director pretending to be a camera and running around me. And so, yeah, we practiced it a little bit like that, yeah.
Hi, Demi. Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Let's talk about the law. Your father's a lawyer, your sister's a lawyer, you studied the law. How did you end up at Eurovision?
Right? I don't know. No, I've always dreamt of being a singer. I wanted to get into law school because I love studying the law, but my dream was to sing, and I always sang since I was a little girl. I sang when I was happy, I sang when I was crying. So singing is my dream and what I wanted to do my whole life. I got to combine these two things, even though they're totally different. But now it's only singing for me. I kind of disappointed my dad, but...
Last question from me. I understand you had a connection to Advocacy early in your career. Can you tell us a little about that, and have you kept in touch?
Yeah, we have, of course. She's one of the biggest artists in Greece and one of the biggest inspiration for me in Greece. We shared the stage for a couple of months in Greece, and I really admire her. She's a professional, she's a great human being, because that's maybe more important than everything else. And I remember the way she works on stage, and that's what I kept from her, from the months that we worked together.
Please go on.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Yossi, can you tell us how your older brother influenced your choice of career?
Azt kérdezi az úr, hogy az idősebb testvéred hogyan tudta a karrieredet befolyásolni, az édesapádra gondol. You think about his dad?
Bátyám tanított gitározni.
Okay. So it was his older brother who taught Jocsi how to play on the guitar.
Nagyon befolyásolta, mert hogy nagyon jó zenei irányzatokon vitt át engem azzal, hogy ő is gitáros volt.
He held my hand, my older brother, and he taught me how to play on the guitar, and he took me to many stages of music.
És ezáltal sok zenei stílusba beleláttam, és úgymond magamévá tudtam.
I could adopt many musical styles by his instructions, and I'm grateful for that.
És nagyon fontos az origónak is az a része, hogy nagyon sok stílusból áll össze, és hogy attól lett sikeres eddig.
And I guess Origo, my song, represents this diverse musical style, which I have been coming true.
Hi, Alistair from Eurofile. I read that you studied ballet, and at the same time you had a high school band on the side. How did you keep the two styles of music separate, and in which way were the two activities complementary?
Well, I guess I'm kind of multitasker. I can do a lot of things. Ballet was, every day. It was for 8 years, every day. And I took that very seriously. The band was much more just a hobby. When I quit ballet when I was 15 because of my knees, I went into music, full time. So I had more time to work on my music. And when I was in ballet doing music, it was more just of a hobby and didn't really take it seriously. So, yeah.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Sorry, I changed networks recently. My question for you, though, you come from a large family and a musical family.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell us a little about that. And what is the best musical advice you ever received from a family member, and what's the worst?
The worst? Yeah, so like my dad, when he was about my age, he used to sing in a lot of cabaret bands growing up. So I think that's where I kind of got my musical drive to do that. Like, and he played guitar as well, so I took his guitar growing up and I learned myself. I asked him for lessons growing up, but he didn't give me any, so I had to it kind of drove me more to learn myself. So that was good. My brother is a songwriter, so that was great as well. And my sister was a singer as well. So yeah, there was a lot of music in my family growing up, and especially the town where I come from, there was a lot of bands and everything, and I used to support all these great bands in my hometown called Tuam in the west of Ireland. So it was great. It was great to see that as well, and yeah, I'm just delighted to be here. And the best advice I've ever gotten, I suppose life is full of knocks. Knocks make you stronger. I've gotten a few knocks along the way, so I'm just gonna keep going and take everything in my stride, and it's going to be great.
Yep, my second question, you were in a pantomime recently. So what surprised you about the experience? And is there anything you learned there that you can apply to Eurovision?
Yeah, Panto was good, yeah. We did Panto in 2014. It was Aladdin. So that was great, yeah. We were like, so we kind of were buskers on the street, and then, yeah, we fitted into it anyway. But yeah, that was kind of our first staging experience. So like we were kind of launched that way, if you get me. So like it was 3 weeks of constant like on the stage in the morning, and then at night as well. So it was great getting out in front of crowds, and I'm not the best dancer in the world as well. So I got to move a bit on stage. So yeah, I won't be moving in this, so I'll be staying put. But no, it was a brilliant experience, and yeah, if I got the chance to do it again, I'd definitely do it.
Hi, Imre. Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Can you tell us a little about your involvement in the movie Trolls? And what was difficult, what was easy about it, and is this something maybe you could do as a sideline?
So first of all, I also act. But I think in Trolls, I sang. Basically, I sang the songs in the Hebrew version of the Trolls. That's what I did there, and it was a fun experience. Yeah.
So I'm going to go back a little further than Trolls. Back to high school, the Hod Hasharon troupe. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Hod Hasharon, yeah.
What do you remember about the time? What did you learn? And looking back, what were you doing really badly?
So this is the first time I actually perform live singing on stage. The first time I got the opportunity to do it. And I completely fell in love with it. I completely fell in love with the stage, with singing, with music, with recording, with everything that I did. I also act there. And it was a really fun experience. I think it shaped my character. It shaped my performance, my style, my music, my genre. It basically did everything because it was the first time. And I was there 6 years, and then I finished high school, so I went to the army, yeah.
I have a question about America. Israel has got a lot of cultural connections with America. The show was on American TV last year for the first time. Did you notice any difference in the reaction? And do you have any American friends who'll be watching you from afar this year?
So first of all, I have a lot of American friends. They're really supportive. They didn't know what is Eurovision last year and 2 years ago. I told them, yeah, I'm going to participate in the Eurovision in the back as a backing artist. Say, what is Eurovision? And this year they know exactly what it is. I don't know what the other representative received from the state, which response they received from the States, but I received a lot from everywhere in the United States, from America, from North America, from South America, and it really warms your heart, yeah.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. People across Europe and Australia are preparing their Eurovision parties right now. So can you help them prepare? They're watching on the camera by teaching them the choreography to your song, please.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's do it.
Where is the monkey? The monkey, the dancing monkey.
But do you know the choreography?
I'm not the monkeyography.
No, but do you know the choreography?
Yeah?
Do you know the choreography?
Yeah, I know
so
the
I'll be the monkey.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes. I have to show you.
Yes.
I try.
Let's do it.
It's un villaggio vacanze, holiday village. So, holiday resort. So, oh, sono veramente... Dorina, where do you go? You have
to join us.
No,
too.
because you have to translate the choreographer.
Don't
so
leave,
we have,
me alone. You have to do
we have 8 times, and you start on the right. Can you do the boom for me, like this? No, with the Mac. Okay, thank you so much. And your first time is on the right, so 1, 2, 3, and on 4 you come si dice?
Raise your leg.
You raise your right leg, okay, on 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, your left legs up, okay? So it's like this.
So hard.
Occidentalis karma, pa 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 para pa pa, la scimmia nuda balla, pa 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 para pa pa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I have a question for Agnesa. Can you tell us about Raymond Powles and how has he influenced your music?
Wow, what a question. Raymond Powles is a really important person in my career, and like last year was huge, and I released a EP album with his songs. He's an iconic person in Latvia and was a major, felt really, really like honored and like super excited to work with this person because he's so picky. He only picks like special people, and when he picks you, it's like a lottery ticket for billions of dollars, you know, and you feel like super excited to work with this person. And it has changed my views, what I can do with myself, because I have always seen myself in a concept as a band, and it's really, really important for me. But working with this composer, I felt like more cabaret, more like theater, more like solo, more like seeing myself in different shapes. And the music, what he was giving to me, those songs were really, some of them were really difficult and hard for me to sing. I really struggled, like technically, and it was a big, big challenge for me, emotionally and technically. So I'm really, really thankful to this person till the end of my days. He is like, I'm really happy, yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. You've been performing in Vilnius for a long time.
Yes.
Why is it such a special place for live music?
Vilnius? Because it's we are in a really interesting geographical position, because we combine some kind of Eastern culture and some kind of some things from the Western culture. And you know, when you live at that point, you can sum all the things, all the good things from both parts.
Hi, Alistair Birch
Hi.
from Eurofile. We've just been talking to Jana from FYRM about Harry Potter. I understand you have a role promoting books to children in Malta. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it? And why is reading so important nowadays when everything's available online?
Well, yes, I have been appointed one of the ambassadors for reading. And I go to schools and we choose either an English book or a Maltese book to promote reading to kids nowadays. Because as you said, technology has taken over books. I believe it is very important because books give you so much imagination. It's one thing to read a book, and then when you see the remake of the movie, it is completely different, because a book can take you so many other places, whilst when you're just seeing it there, there's nowhere to go, you know, it's in front of you. So, and me working in a school, we promote reading all the time. I think it makes you grow. And if I had to take this artistically, it made me grow as well when I come to write music. So reading is awesome. Let's all read, guys. Hi.
Hi, Alistair again. I'd like to follow on from what JP was saying. 10 times, that's a lot of effort.
It is.
How has entering the national final helped your career on the other 9 years, though? And is it something you would recommend to maybe a young artist who's considering going for the ultimate prize in Eurovision?
Well, I think the ups and downs. I always say life is a roller coaster, and my career was that. I think it makes you appreciate more and take nothing for granted. It makes you grow. It makes you grow personally and artistically, because through different songs and different sounds, you become to know yourself better. So then when in my case, now being here today, I feel I am ready to take on the stage, because I had a long journey. I know what I want to do. I believe in my song. It is something I love and I feel. And it took me so much to come here. So every minute I cherish, every second. And I'm happy. Maybe I don't look like happy jumping around, but deep inside my heart is a burst of beautiful feelings.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I have a question about the Russian language. You're from the Russian-speaking part of Moldova, is that correct? And how does it feel to be elected as the Moldovan representative by people who speak another language? How does that make you feel?
I will say in Russian and okay. Я думаю, что для нас это на самом деле очень, потому что это как бы наш родной язык, и мы говорим на русском, и в принципе как бы нам легче просто общаться именно на этом языке, хотя у нас в стране два языка.
Да, что нужно еще добавить?
So the thing is that Russian is our native language, that it's quite easier for us to talk Russian. So that's the thing, we're talking Russian.
Мы просто были рождены, мы старые, рождены в Советском Союзе когда-то, и поэтому наш родной язык русский.
So we are quite old. We were born in USSR times. That's why Russian is our native language.
Ну, в принципе, что нужно сказать? Что нужно сказать? Что, да, главное, что мы здесь, и главное, что мы всегда найдем общий язык со всеми, кто этого действительно хочет.
So the most important thing that we are here, and we, of course, we will find common language to talk with each other.
Hi guys again. What do you think of the internet memes, Epic Sax Guy? And have you seen the copies? There's a black Epic Sax Guy from America. What do you think of that one?
Вы знаете, я ждал этого вопроса. Thank you so much. Вы знаете, это очень радует. Это радует, что вот такое вообще с нашей командой произошло, то, что люди начали узнавать о нашей стране по интернет-мему Epic Sax Guy.
So I was waiting for this question. Thank you. So we are really quite glad about that fact that our country is famous for this man.
Есть такая поговорка у нас, что подражение — это высшая форма лести. Вот, и действительно это очень приятно, и надеемся, что больше будет у нас еще больше просмотров, еще больше подражений танцу в нашем сегодняшнем выступлении же.
So we really hope that this year we will double this success with this meme, and hope that everybody will repeat our movement. So we hope you notice that movement. So let's hope for this.
A very simple one, this one. Can you demonstrate the new dance move to your sax, please?
Of course, yes, no problem. Can you please hold this? Yeah, but 1 second, if you will just a little bit like make, please, like this, okay? And I say, mama, mama, don't be so down. I'm not that confounded boy. Mama, mama, don't be so down. All that keeps going round and round. Mama, mama, don't be so mad. If you knew me, you'd be surprised. Mama, mama, don't be so mad. She'll be back home till sunrise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moldova Sunstroke Project.
Please.
Hi, Slavko, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. You studied at Katynia, I think. I'm probably pronouncing that wrongly. Can you tell us a little about the studies you did there?
Drama Academy.
Exactly, and how they help you at Eurovision now.
Yes, I finished Drama Academy in Montenegro, basic studies, then specialized singing and dancing. And after that, I finished master degree. Theme was like actors' movement in theater of 21st century. So it really helped me a lot because I am a permanent member for 10 years in Montenegro National Theater. And you know, stage for me is like my home, like homeland, and I really feel that is my life. And I was a little bit not worried, but you know, when you get on the stage like this one, Eurovision, I thought that I will be a little bit scared, but honestly, when my first rehearsal started, everything was so nice. So being in the theater and all this 10 years career helped me a lot because I really feel like I'm, you know, in my theater or somewhere else when we are speaking about a stage presence.
Hi, I have another question. I understand you worked with Jeko Joksimovic, who's known quite well at Eurovision. What did you learn from him, and have you talked to him about Eurovision?
He was like a judge because I was in X Factor Adria, that was like for 5 countries, for Balkan countries, and he was my judge. He's very kind, and he was my judge because I was in a group over 25 years. But we haven't seen for like, for sure, almost 2 years. So we didn't, you know, speak about Eurovision and everything, but hopefully we will meet for sure and speak about impressions and everything. For sure, he will see my performance, I hope.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from Eurofile.
Hi.
I have a question for Lisa. I was reading Cosmo Girl magazine, as always, and they quote you as saying you have a lot of useless knowledge. Now, I'm sure that was a misquote. When is knowledge useless? And is that really a message that we want to give to the future politicians and scientists who happen to be reading Cosmo Girl today?
Ooh, yeah, Lisa.
Yeah, I think I'm an inspiration for many people. Yeah, I am always very interested in a lot of things. So basically, what I meant with that quote was, I know a lot of different things which I can never use. Like there's not a quiz of just some random things that Lisa knows. If there was, I would be very, very glad. So if someone's watching and wants to set up such thing, go ahead. I'll enjoy it. I'll do it.
For me, she's a walk-in Google.
Yeah,
I ask everything on her. Yeah.
Well, don't try that right now because they're gonna ask me things about Ukraine.
No, everything.
She knows a lot, and it's good. She has it just in her pocket, and she can use it when she wants to.
Every once in a while, I come up with something, and I'll just say, you know, when we have the hiccups, it's the same thing as frogs breathing normally. So now you know.
I actually have two questions. The first one is very short. Just so we get it right, can you confirm how to correctly pronounce the name of your group?
Yeah, we can.
And, oh, sorry, yes. And the second question was, can you tell us about your support for research into ALS?
Okay, the name of our group is O Gene. The O is the blood type of our mother, and the gene is the genes that we share because we're sisters. And the 3 is to finish it. Just a finishing touch.
Yes. And to get to your second question, you were talking about the ALS Foundation, right? Yeah, we're ambassadors of that foundation. We were involved in a lot of charity foundations, and we had to pick one to put our focus on one and to do more. You can do more when you're focused on one goal. Of course, we're still in action for some others, but we wanted to put the focus on one. And we were performing on their World ALS Day, and they had asked us to do so, and we had such a good time over there.
We heard a lot of stories.
Yeah, we heard a lot of stories, and we were feeling really well with doing that at that moment. And we had a good connection with the people who started up that foundation over there. So we got to talk, and our mother had the same symptoms, like she's paralyzed for one half of her body, and her tongue is paralyzed for part 2. So we knew those symptoms, and we knew what those families were going through. And also our neighbor got ALS, and he sadly already passed away last year, which had quite a lot of impact on us. So all these things came together, and we thought, like, this is the sound. We need to do something with.
Also, a small thing, and that was just like that. We knew, okay, this is like maybe meant to be or something. The initials ALS are Amy, Lisa, and Shelly. So we thought,
and that's actually to say something more. The same with the song Lights and Shadows. And we didn't pick it that way. It was just the song was already written, and then we found out that they had the same initials as our names.
Hi guys, Alistair from Eurofile. Can you tell us a little about how you've been using Facebook to write new music?
Yeah. I had this project of making the songs like a side project in the studio, and I wanted to make something good. I usually just work for others, and when I do things myself, I can't like complete things. I start working on something, and I just can't get to the goal and make it get out there to the people and things like that. So I used Facebook and a group which I invited my friends and colleagues and family, and I told them that the Joust me is making a hit. And here I'm showing you how you are making a hit. So I had this group that they followed. So every day after working in the studio, I showed them how it sounded. And they could tell me, yeah, this is good, or this is bad, or I don't like guitars, I don't like drums, and you should probably change those things. And then I just take kind of I didn't follow every feedback. I just listened to what people were saying, and I was telling them about why I was doing the choices I did. And the group was just like a promise that I made. I made them a promise that I was supposed to make a hit. So it made it easier for me to complete it. But it wasn't easy, but then if I hadn't done that, I think I wouldn't have completed the song. This song. Only this song. First song.
Joachim, you said you trained as a nurse, but I understand you also worked as a sound engineer. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, so my question...
I was going to be the nurse.
Oh, you were going to be the nurse.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
He was supposed to be, but I also worked as a sound engineer, yes.
So I have two questions then. What happened one day when a customer didn't turn up? And what do you think of the sound tech here at Eurovision?
When the guy didn't turn up, that was when I started making the song. I'm
happy he didn't turn up.
Yeah, I wasn't at that time. I was in the studio, and I live off making things for others and with others. So there was a guy who was supposed to be there at like not 10 o'clock in the morning or something, and then he didn't show up, and he didn't call, and I had to do something else. And then that's when I started doing something. So I always have to do something, and grab the moments I have. What was the other question? Yeah, the tech here. It sounds good. It sounds really good. They know what they're doing. They get, well, on our number, they get help from our guy who has done the production, the sound production in the Melodi Grand Prix. So he's here making sure that they are doing it the way we wanted it in Norway. And if we get that, it gets perfect. I think it sounds good.
Sounds great.
Hi, Cassia. Alistair Birch from Eurofile. There's a saying, what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas, but you had a very interesting experience. Can you tell us a little about...
And it's going to stay in Las Vegas, as you said. No, really, that's true. I had a great adventure. I went to visit my friends, and I went to United States because I always wanted to go there. And we went to Las Vegas for 3 days because she wanted to show me the crazy world. And I sing on karaoke for the first time in my life, and I was in a good place in the right time. There was a dancer of one of the bands of Robin Antin. She is the creator of Pussycat Dolls. So I went back to Poland, I sent them my demo, and I went to rehearsal. I went to audition for Robin Antin band, and I sing in Pussycat Dolls Burlesque Review. So I was there. I signed a contract with Robin Antin for 6 months, and it was the best adventure in my life. And I think I met so many wonderful people, and it was one of the best times in my life. Before Eurovision Song Contest, it was the best.
Hi, Alistair again. I'd love to hear some name drops from your time in America after Las Vegas. I mean, Kelly Osbourne, Eva Longoria. What are they like as people, and what was the extent of your cooperation with them?
They're very nice. They're normal girls, actually, and very talented. Kelly Osbourne is she's very nice, because when I was a kid, we watched in Poland, we had some kind of the Osbournes family, and we were always like, we thought that they're like, oh my God, they're so crazy. But when I met her, she's like so calm and so nice, and so such a sweet girl. So we sing on, I think, 2 concerts together, and also Eva Longoria, she invited the Pussycat Dolls Burlesque Review to her charity event in Canada, in Toronto. So we went there together, and I had the opportunity to meet Eva Longoria, and they were really very nice. Like the whole group, the whole band was very nice. They're like so beautiful, but very, grounded on earth. So it's good.
And there is a small announcement that Salvador Sobral, the performer representing Portugal due to health conditions, cannot be present here today. But he'll surely be for next week for the big rehearsals. And for now, his sister and also the author of this song, Luisa, representing him. So please welcome Luisa Sobral. I guess that's the last name is the same. So good to see you here today. Take a seat, take a mic.
Hi, Alistair from Eurofile. I understand you work with your brother quite regularly on an artistic level. Can you tell us a little about how the cooperation works? How do your talents complement each other? What does he do better? What do you do better? And how the creative process works?
Well, when we are so used to singing together, you know, since we were little, before iPads and all that stuff, that's what we did in the car, because we needed time to go by doing something, you know. So my father, he's a drummer, not professionally, but he plays and he sings well. So we would just sing together. And we ended up, well, I know his voice very well. He knows my voice very well. But I became a composer very early, and my brother didn't. Now he writes, but he didn't write before. So I wrote a song for him. It was on his last album. Sometimes I sing at his concerts. Before the Portuguese, before Festival da Canção, the contest where he won, he used to sing in a lot of my concerts because I wanted people to know him and to know his voice. Now he doesn't need to anymore because he's just very famous. But so I used to invite him, and he would sing at my concerts too. And I guess it's just very natural. We sing all the time together. I used to write, and he used to just sing. Now he's a very good writer, but he didn't really write songs. He used to just write poems, and he would write poetry. He would write short stories. He's really good since he was little. So now he's putting those stories into music as well. So it's great.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and another question. Have you spoken to Salvador since you've arrived? And if so, what did you tell him about Kiev and about the Eurovision generally?
Well, the only thing, we have a WhatsApp group. So actually the only things that I sent him were pictures of my son, because he's the godfather too. And he's obsessed with him. So I think I sent pictures at the hotel, we're staying here, and then just pictures of the baby. But also because we didn't get to do much, like I said. But I sent him a picture today of the stage, because I wanted him to see how big the stage is and everything. And I guess now when I go home, I'm going to tell him how everything went and just tell him some stuff about today and what happened.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Ilinka, I read somewhere that as a child you couldn't sing, you were tone deaf. So how did you overcome this, and what inspired you to start yodeling?
Well, yeah, when I was little, I had this thing with my vocal cords. They didn't come together, and I was like this. I couldn't even talk properly. But both my parents are musicians, so that made me want to sing, and it just resolved itself. I don't know, after I started studying. And I had the help of my father, who is a teacher, music teacher. And yodeling, I first heard yodeling when I was 12, and I was watching these videos on YouTube, and I saw Taylor Ware in the American Got Talent audition, and she sang a country song with yodeling, and I fell in love with the sound of yodeling. I thought it went very well with my personality. I thought it was so funny and just went well with me, and I wanted to try it, and I taught myself how to yodel.
I have another background question, if I may. It's about Mrs. Lucia. I understand she was a teacher of yours.
Yes.
And how did she help you improve your style?
Yes, Lucia. When I was on The Voice, my coach had this assistant, Lucia, who is from, she's Romanian, but she lives in Holland. And she teaches this complete vocal technique. And so she made me see a lot of things that I didn't before when I only learned with my father. So I learned many other things from her, and she improved my yodeling very much.
Your choreography, it's very simple but very effective. And for the viewers at home who perhaps haven't seen the show, so they can get ready for their Eurovision parties, I wonder if you could teach everybody watching via the camera how to do the choreography to your song.
Yeah, well, it's very complicated. You have to take your hand and just do like that. Very complicated, very hard.
That's complicated.
We
That's
have a
very hard.
second part.
We do have a second part. That's
Okay.
easier.
Yes.
We have to stay like this. And you do. Thank
That's
you.
amazing. That's amazing. What a great what a great finale for a press conference.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I have a question for Jimmy. I understand you appeared in a musical produced by Michael Jackson. Did you meet Michael? And what aspects of Michael's character are you funneling into your performance at Eurovision?
Yes, I did play the starring role in in a musical, actually his only musical production, which was called Sisterella. We started that in Los Angeles, and that is actually what brought me to Europe. Yes, I did meet him. I met his mother. I've been in his home. I was at the Neverland Ranch. It was an amazing experience. What I can channel from Michael into my performance is his professionalism, his consistency, and him always giving 100% every time he performed.
Yes, please.
Hi, Jimmy. I have another question for you. I understand you appeared in a musical about Barack Obama. What was it like to play a character that everyone knows or everyone thinks they know so well? And can we hear the president sing a little bit, please?
Wow. It was fascinating playing the first Black American president. Of course, I take special pride in that, being Black American myself. You know, he's one of the biggest personalities in the world. And yeah, this musical was produced in Germany. And what was one of the songs in the musical? It's not about me, it never will be, 'cause I am no Messiah from the East. It's about us, it's about we, and the hope that we can live in peace. That was what the musical was about. It's about living in peace. Yeah. And wow.
And we have
It was an honor. It was an honor.
Hi, Alistair from Eurofile. My question is, have you heard any comments or feedback from previous Serbian artists, such as Milan Stankovic or Maria Sevovic? And how important to you is support from your fellow Serbian artists?
It is very important. I haven't heard from two of them in particular, although Maria did support and say that, you know, she thinks I'm a good choice. Thank her for that. But I did talk to Sanja Vucic from last year. I talked to Bojana Stamenov because we're privately friends, Jelena Tomašević. So I didn't really know that it will mean a lot because you're focused on doing your thing, and then, you know, you don't let any negative or positive comments distract you from the focus. But on the other hand, I really, really felt good that they supported me. It really means a lot. All the colleagues from Serbia, all the singers and the musicians that supported me, it really means a lot, and especially from the people who already participated in Eurovision.
My question is about your husband. I understood, or I read somewhere you did a special version of the song as a duet with him. Can you tell us a little about that? And also, he's been learning a few words in Serbian. Can you tell us about that as well, please?
He definitely wants to learn Serbian because he's always saying, we've been together for so long and I can only say something. So he's always making me bring him like CDs and books, but I don't know, you really need to go. And if you want to learn another language, you need to go, take a teacher, and really, you know, put an effort. But he will, yes. About him learning Serbian, those are, I don't know about your countries, but in Serbia, when people come from anywhere in the world, we like to teach them the bad words. And he's just learning some like bad words, not just words, but the whole situations. And he's saying it in Serbian. It's in my Instagram profile. I kind of made him a little more likable to Serbian people because he's really putting an effort. Because I should put those takes that are not that I did not edit, that he's making mistakes and everything. Serbian is not really easy to learn. But that's what I'm doing with him, and people seem to like it. We have a lot of audience that like to watch our little vines, as we would say. And what was the next, the other question? Special version, yeah. Well, so he's an R&B singer. So it was only natural when I did this original version that I love, because I see people are like, oh, this slower version is better than the original, which I don't think so. I think that the original version is really, really good. It's the one that we should go with. But we made it as a duet, as an R&B version. I mean, I don't know if any one of you listened to it, but you should. It's nice. It also brings different light to it, as the Serbian one. This song is so, you can put it in so many different arrangements and it sounds different every time, but it's the same song. I love that about the song.
Hi, Omar. Alistair from Eurofile. I read that you spent some of the last 12 years working as a backing singer.
That's right.
What's easier now that your name's in the lights, and what's become harder?
Well, it's kind of a tricky question answer to give. Of course, if you're a singer and if you want to express yourself the most, of course you want to be a lead singer. That's no question about it. And I am a very expressive person, and I am a very creative person, and I want to deliver my music to people, and this is what makes it much easier for me, you know? I feel more fulfilled. But on the other hand, it's actually much more, it's, how do you call that? You need more responsibility. It's more responsible thing for be alone on stage or to be in the front where everybody is in the back, you know. But I like that because, like I told you, I'm a very expressive person, and I'm very, very thankful when people want to hear my music. Yeah, this gentleman.
Yeah, we'll get on. Yeah.
I have another question. We went back 12 years a moment ago. I'd like to go back even further.
Okay.
To your secondary school choir, which I think was called Wind.
Yes, that's right.
Do you remember much about it? And I'm told, authoritatively, that Wind still exists.
Yeah.
So are you still in touch with the choir? And maybe do you have any message for them from the big Eurovision press stage?
Yeah, well, this is out of the blue. Yeah, I do have some contact with some people because, you know, Ljubljana is quite small, and whoever is in the singing circles, we know each other, you know, and a lot of people come from there, even the professional ones now, myself included. And they always invite me to their concerts, and if I have time, I come, you know, but maybe once in 3 years. But I do think that I've learned a lot of singing in that choir, so that's why I'm very grateful. And I thank them again, and I'm saying big hi to Wind, to the Wind.
Hi, and Alistair, another question. You have the surfer look. Where have you been surfing, and are you any good?
Oh, okay. So the first time I've surfed was in England. I don't know exactly the beach. Yeah, it was really cool. Cold, but yeah, I also surf in Barcelona, but it's hard, you know, you only had the chance to go to the beach to do surf like 2 times in a year, but also on the north of Spain, city called Farao that has a really good waves.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. Robin, can you tell us a little bit about your interest in motorsports, and have you ever had to decide between motorsports or motocross and music?
Well, I actually got my first motocross bike when I was 3 years old. A week after I learned how to ride a bicycle, my dad came home with a motocross bike, and I started competing when I was 10, and did so for 12 years. But like I stopped racing professionally, or what you can call it, when I was around 17, and so I pretty much had to choose between the music and motocross, because it's hard to mix them up. If you break a leg or something, which happens quite often, so it's hard to get on stage and sing.
Hi, Alistair again. I have a food question as well. I understand you were honored by your hometown with a special food recently.
Yeah.
A pizza. Can you
pizza.
maybe tell us about that, and tell us a little bit about the town as well, please?
Well, I grew up in a really small town in the western parts of Sweden. It has like 3,000 people live there. And the pizza place where I always went when I lived there, they made a special pizza that is called the Robin Special. And it has pretty much everything on it. It's like meat and French fries and salad, and you know, it's like this thick. So it really tastes good though. So if you're ever in Svenljunga, where I was born, you should go there.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. I'd like to go back 10 years to the start of the band. I understand you all lived in one house together for a while. So what do you miss about that time, and what were you happy to leave behind?
Ми дуже сумуємо за цим часом, дуже сильно. Ми хочемо, щоб кожен момент, який ми проживаємо зараз, і ця прес-конференція, і наше з вами спілкування з часом були так само ностальгічними, як і той момент, коли ми жили разом. Ми намагаємося насолоджуватися кожним моментом.
So we are very nostalgic about those times. We miss those times very much. And we want to make every time of our life as good, that good, so we can remember and be nostalgic about this exact moment and this conversation about with all of you guys, like we miss the times when we were really young.
Просто той час, розумієте, ви ж були теж студентом, я впевнений, і всі люди були молоді, коли збиралися всі разом, багато пили, тусувалися, танцювали. І з часом це не потрібно втрачати, потрібно зберігати молодість постійно.
So basically, all of you guys are remembering those times when you were young and you were students, drinking a lot, having parties, dancing all night, all that kind of things. And we want to tell you that you don't have to lose that feeling, you know, you have to stay young forever.
Hi guys, I have a question about the video to your song, Mr. DJ. You had some problems with that. Can you tell us about it? And did you feel constrained by what you were allowed to portray on the stage of a family show like Eurovision?
Це таке питання, на яке можна відповідати, там, умовно кажучи, питанням про молодість і відповіддю про те, що кожен з нас був молодим. І ясно, що немає ідеальних людей, і було б дивно, якщо б серед нас існували якісь ідеальні люди. В пісні «Містер Діджей» і в кліпі «Містер Діджей» показана рок-н-рольна молодість групи «Торвальд», такою, як вони є. І коли я продовжую співати цю пісню на концертах, я навпаки ностальгую і розумію, що для мене це окей. І моя сім'я реагує класно. Дякую.
we have to remember the times when we were young. So this song and this video is about us being young and being nostalgic about it, about our rock and roll youth, you know. And every time we perform this song, we feel really happy and nostalgic about those wonderful times. And Zhenya's family is really happy about him to have a good time, you know, generally.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. We've had a question about X Factor, which was a while ago, but I'd like to go even further back to the Scout and Guide gang show. What do you remember about that? Maybe can you explain to the audience what that is, and what did you learn then which you're actually applying at Eurovision today?
Wow, you really delved into the archives, didn't you? Really good. So, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to do this show, and it was like the Scouting Association and the Guide Association. You'd come together, and you'd put on a musical. And so that was one of my first experiences on stage, which I totally thank because it sparked my love for being on stage. And yeah, I can't imagine that without having done that, I wouldn't have taken all the steps that would have led me here. So who knows, if I hadn't done it, maybe I wouldn't be here today.
So, Alistair from Eurofile again. So before Rent, I think you were in Legally Blonde.
Yes, I was.
Now, that's a movie. Everyone knows it. The role was immortalized by Reese Witherspoon. So how do you make a role like that your own? And how do you add your own je ne sais quoi to that part?
It's a good question. It's quite difficult because I grew up watching that film, and it's kind of a staple for my generation. It was the perfect rom-com, and I'm a big fan of rom-coms, so I watched it a lot growing up. So it is difficult to kind of start from scratch. And I'd also seen the musical. I'd seen Sheridan Smith do the role, but I was working with an incredible director who really just managed to get back to what was on the page, and we kind of treat it as a play. That just, the songs are just another scene. And it really changed how I felt about the whole thing. So I kind of put it down to him. His name's Nikolai Foster, and I basically think he's God. So it was a pleasure to work with him anyway, but on such a wonderful show. Yeah, I'm doing it again. I start again later this year. So thank you.
Hi, Isaiah. Alistair Birch from Eurofile. For starters, congratulations. And you're about to follow in the footsteps of Guy Sebastian and Dami Im into the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest. How does that make you feel?
Well, like I said before, this has been a massive dream of mine, and I never thought I'd be able to experience this at 17 years old, and I'm just so grateful to be here. And yeah, just thanks everyone who voted for me, and yeah, I can't wait for the grand final, so it definitely feels amazing.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Alistair Birch from Eurofile. My question is for Anya, please. I had the honor of meeting your parents and grandparents.
Oh my goodness!
In the car park
How
just
did that
before
happen?
the show.
And was it? Are you okay?
I don't know why they wouldn't let them in, but I'm sure they're watching the web stream. What message do you have for your parents and your grandparents?
Oh my God! Don't make me cry. Seriously? Oh my God! Sorry.
Oh, please give her a warm applause of support.
I want to say thank you so much to my mom and to my family. Even though I've gone all the way to Denmark and they've stayed in Australia, they have supported me through thick and thin, through everything. And I feel, yeah, like I couldn't have had a better family, and everyone has been saying that to me today. They've been saying, you have such an amazing family, you are so lucky. And that's again, that phrase, I am so lucky, and I really believe that, and I feel so grateful to have such a beautiful family that have supported me as much as they have since I came up with this crazy dream to chase an international singing career at the age of 4 years old, and they've supported me through everything. So I can't say it again. I'm so lucky.
Thank you so much. Wow, it's getting so emotional. Yes, you please, in the white t-shirt.